Hello, fifth graders. I hope you're doing well and finding this week to be a little bit easier, a little bit simpler as we are learning how to learn online, but access all of the resources and everything in Canvas too. So I hope you're doing well. I miss you guys, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow morning from 8:30 to 9:30 for our session together. But I wanted to just go through our checklist and what you're going to be doing today. So today we're going to start with our math books, page 241 and 242. Those are the green pages on the lesson that we learned yesterday. And then I have a Khan Academy video I'd like you guys to watch because it'll just kind of support everything that we've been learning. And I understand that some of these concepts can be a little bit difficult and hard to understand, so we just need to practice, and I want to provide all the help that you need in different areas since I can't sit down with you. So you're gonna do the workbook, watch Khan Academy video, and then I will be meeting with our reach groups 3, 4, and 5 today, and that means reach groups 1 and 2 you're working on iReady Math. The pages, the worksheets for Reach are in Canvas. They're under the week 31, online learning 323 through 327. So all of your Reach assignments are there, and it's just one worksheet. Please print it out and then send it to me. You can send it to me through a picture, scanning it. There's this new really cool app that I downloaded on my phone, and it's called TurboScan. So I don't know if you guys can see the TurboScan on there, and it's super easy. I just open it up, I take a picture of the work, and then I can email it to my kids' teachers. So I absolutely love it. There is a $6.99 fee, because it allows you to do a couple pages for free. But if you're planning to do more because you have multiple kids like I do, and I need to constantly send their teachers things, then it was worth it. It's just a one-time fee of $6.99. So I really like it. I had another parent email me that there's some other good scanning apps also. Those work, so that's fine. Again, taking a picture and sending it to me, scanning it and emailing it to me. But I do need the work for Reach because I collect that for our evidence that we are working on other concepts to kind of help fill in those gaps for those of you who need help, and then also for challenging you for those who need to be challenged. So please work on those. I will meet with 3, 4, and 5 today from 12 to 12:30, and that'll be in the big blue button. And so if you can go to there and we'll get all set up. And then of course my office hours are from 12:30 to 1:30, so if you need any help, you can get on to big blue button and we can chat. We can look at some problems that need to be finished or whatever you need help in. Okay? All right, so I wanted to show you where some of these things are. So I'm going to show you through my Canvas. So this is for today, Wednesday, 3/25. Here's your checklist. Here's the Khan Academy video. There's a link in this page. And then here's your Matter worksheets, because you also have science today. And it's just 2 worksheets just to review everything that we've been learning about with Matter. But I'm going to scroll up because I want to show you guys where the Reach stuff is. So if we scroll up to, here it is, week 31, online learning. So here's the expectations Mr. G and I put together. Here's the learning online weekly schedule. So it gives you a breakdown of what you're doing for the whole week for me and Mr. G. And then right here, 5th grade Reach groups meet with me on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Here's the live link to Reach. And then group 1 and 2, you guys were supposed to meet with me yesterday. I did have a couple of you come on. So if you didn't get on to it, please make sure you're downloading these pages and doing them and then scanning them to me. And then today I'm meeting with groups 3 and 4. And so group 3, here's your multiplication fluency page. And group 4, here's your coordinate planes. And then group 5, I want to chat with you to see how I can work with you to help you and make sure that you guys are up to date and doing what you need to be doing also. Okay? So there's your worksheets, and that's what I need you guys to do today. Okay, so I want to go back down to the Khan Academy video. I love Khan Academy videos. They're really good. Whoops, that's Tuesday. I'll need to go to Wednesday. Here we go. So if I click on this page right here, it's going to take me to this link. And if I open this up, here's the video. And let's see, it's only... it's only 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So that's not bad at all. That'll just give you guys a good review on adding fractions and mixed numbers. And then I think they even do a little bit of subtraction, which is going to be the next lesson that we're going to be working on. Okay. There we go. Now you get back to me. Hello. Okay, so please watch that video, especially if you're struggling with the problems in our green pages, because you guys do have a quiz on Friday on adding fractions. So I want to make sure that you guys are completely understanding, and if you need help, please see me as well. Okay, so let's look at page 241. So it says, study the example showing how to add with mixed numbers. So here's our example, and it says, what is 1 2/3 plus 1 1/2? To add mixed numbers, the fractional parts must be the same size. So that we've talked about that. That's about how we split our bar model to make sure that it's the same. Replace the given fractions with equivalent fractions that have the denominator 6. Find the sum now. So 1 2/3 plus 1 1/2 is equivalent to 1 4/6 plus 1 3/6. And when you add that together, you get 2 7/6. Then it says rewrite the mixed number so that the fractional part is less than 1, because 2 7/6, the 7 is the larger number, which means it is an improper fraction. So that means we have to pull out that 6 over 6, that's 1 whole. And so then that becomes 3 wholes with 1/6 left over. Okay, so now we're going to do number 1. And it says draw a model to show how you can use equivalent fractions to find the sum 2 1/6 plus 3 1/4. So this one, it asks us to actually draw it out. So I'm going to actually use our bar models for my visual learners, okay? So we have 2 1/6 plus 3 1/4. So I'm going to draw 2 wholes first. And then now I'm going to draw 1/6. So I'm going to split this into 6. So that's half. And that's 4th. Oops. I need to do this into thirds actually. So 1. And then I split those in half. Okay, and then I'm going to color in one of those because it's 1/6. And now I'm going to do my wholes for 3. So I have 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do 1/4 right here. And this one I'm going to split in half, and then in half, and in half. So that gives me, and now here's 1/4. Okay. Now we need to make these two bottom numbers even. So that means I need the lowest common multiple that both 6 and 4 will go into. So down here, I'm going to do the number 6 and the number 4. So let's write the multiples for 6. So 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. Now let's do our 4s. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. Do you see the lowest common multiple here? Yeah, it's 12. So I'm going to circle 12 and 12. That means I need to make my bar model into 12ths, okay? So that I'm going to, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means I'm just going to split each one of these in half. And I'm using my red to do that. Okay. Actually, there, that's more half. Okay, so now I have 1, 2 colored out of 12. And then here I need to split this into 12ths. So if I already have 4, then each one needs to be split into thirds. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now I'm going to write our new problem right below. So we have 2 and 2 12ths plus 3 and 1, 2, 3 fourths. So here's my equivalent fractions to what I've done up here. Okay. All right, now we have to add them. So we have to add all of our shaded in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 12ths. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wholes. 5 12ths and 5 wholes. Which makes sense if you think about it, because we have 2 plus 3 is 5. And 2 plus 3 is 5. And then 12ths is the bottom. Whoops, I put fourths here. Thank you, guys. It should be 12ths. Oops, sorry. All right, 5 and 5 12ths. Now the next question is, can this be reduced? And no, it cannot, because 5 cannot go into 12, and 5 is a prime number. So that means that this is as small as it gets. So the answer is 5 and 5 12ths. Okay? All right, now we're going to go on to number 2. So let me erase my board here. Okay, number 2 says, one way to find a common denominator is by multiplying the denominators of the two factors together and using the product as the common denominator. Use this method to find a common denominator for each pair of fractions and write the equivalent fractions. Okay, so we have 3. We have A, B, and C. So let me label my board A, B, and C. So A, B, and C. All right, and it starts with 1 3/5. So 1 3/5. And B is 2 1/2. 2 1/2. And C is 3/8. And it looks like we are also using 1 3/4. So I'm going to put 1 3/4 over here. And then 4/5 for this one. And the last one is 1/6. Okay, so if we want to make these two the same, it's telling us to multiply them. So what's 5 times 4? 20, yeah. So my new denominator for both fractions is 20. Okay, so 5 times 4 is 20. What's 3 times 4? Yeah, 12. Okay, and then we don't want to forget our whole number, so I'm going to put our whole number right there. So our new equivalent fraction is 1 and 12/20ths for this one. Now we're going to do this one. If 4 times 5 is 20, what's 3 times 5? Yeah, 15. So now our new equivalent fraction is 1 and 15/20ths. Okay? Now let's go ahead and do B. So we have 2 times 5. What is 2 times 5? Yeah, 10. Whoops, that's really far. Okay, if 2 times 5 is 10, what's 1 times 5? Yeah, 5. And then I'll bring over my whole number. So my new equivalent fraction is 2 and 5/10ths. If 5 times 2 is 10, what's 4 times 2? 8. So my new equivalent fraction is 8/10ths. Okay? Now let's do C. So C has us multiplying 8 and 6. What is 8 times 6? 48, yeah. So here's my 48, and I'm going to put 48 over here. Now, 8 times 6 is 48, so what is 3 times 6? 18, yep. 6 times 8 is 48, so what's 1 times 8? 8, yeah, that's easy. So my new equivalent fractions are 18/48ths and 8/48ths. Okay? Now let's do number 3. Show how to add 2 1/2 plus 4/5 using the number line. So I'm going to say, because a lot of you, I don't think we really did a good job on explaining the number line. So let's just solve it the math way, because I've done it visually for my visual learners with our bar models. So now let's go ahead and just do the math behind it, okay? So let me erase this. Okay, and I'm going to write our problem up here. So 2 1/2 plus 4/5. Well, let's go ahead and do it the way that they just told us, and that's by multiplying our two denominators together. So if we multiply 2 times 5, what do we get? 10. So I'm going to put our new equivalent fractions right below. So here's 10 for this one and 10 for this one. Okay? I'm going to bring our whole number straight down because we're not ready to add that yet. And now 2 times 5 is 10. And whatever we do the bottom, we have to do the top. So what's 1 times 5? Yeah, 5. And 5 times 2 is 10. So we have, whatever we do the bottom, we have to do the top. What's 4 times 2? 8. So now our new equivalent fractions are 2 and 5/10ths plus 8/10ths. And now we can add them. So our whole number is 2 plus 0 is 2. And then 5 plus 8 is 13. And our denominator stays the same. So 2 and 13/10ths. Are we done though? No, we're not done because this is an improper fraction. And we can't leave it like this. We need to make it a proper fraction. So remember, that means we have to pull out a whole because this is top heavy. There's more on top than there is on the bottom. So when there's more on top, that means that there's a hole in there and we have to pick it out, or we have to pull it out. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite our answer here, 2 and 13/10ths. And now we're going to pull out the whole. And since our denominator is 10, that means we're going to subtract 10/10ths. All right, subtract that. What's 13 minus 10? 3. Yep. And then tenths stays the same. So now we're going to add this whole plus this whole. And how many wholes is that? 3. And then we have 3/10 left over. So our answer is 3 3/10. Okay? All right, number 4 I'm not going to do because I do want you to do that on your own. And I want to see if you guys get it right. So the answer key is in Canvas if you want to check your answer, okay? But if you are still having issues not quite understanding, then please see me during office hours and I'd love to help you guys. Okay, so let's just review our checklist for today. So our green pages are practically done. Just have one more question to do. Please watch the Khan Academy video to finish up math. Reach groups. You guys are groups 1 and 2 are doing iReady Math. And groups 3, 4, and 5 are going to meet me from 12 to 12:30 on Big Blue Button. And then you have science and ST math to do. And that's it. Okay? Please let me know if you have any questions during office hours. You can email me. You can Google chat me. I don't mind. That's why I'm here. So have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.